Rod Camaro.
That's me. What's the weight limit on it?
550-pound weight limit. So, for any of you guys out there that are running 300 pounds, this will be the one for you. The SeaGhost 130. This is a 13-foot kayak. Has a lot more amenities than the Yellowfin does. It comes standard with a rudder. Rudder is pretty nice, works pretty good. One of the key things I like about this is on the bottom there is a skid plate right here. So if you're dragging this, you wear out this skid plate, you can replace it. It's not a big deal. You don't damage your actual kayak itself. Now there's a lot of rails on this kayak. Gives you a lot of options for mounting different things. Back here in the tank well, you got this nice bungee back here, and it's held in place by these twist locks. You can adjust on the rail. That way you can, you know, mount whatever you want in here. There is a quick connect on here. There's also 2 scupper plugs in the back. You can put a pretty good sized cooler or a milk crate or something back here. You do have a nice handle and a hold down for the rudder system. Okay, rudder system comes pre-wired. All you have to do is take and adjust your wires. Everything's already in place. Set your rudder down in. There's a snap lock right here where you can lock that in place and you're good to go. So you get this seat standard with the SeaGhost 130, but this is a comfortable seat. I like it. It's breathable. If you get the seat wet, it dries out pretty quick. Like I said, there's a couple of different adjustments on here. You can have it in the low position just by pulling it up and moving it back. It goes into the higher position. As you can see, it sets up off the deck a little bit more. Drop it back down into the lower position, and it sets down inside the boat a little bit. It does secure with these bungee straps. I got it sitting on top of them right now, but it does secure with those bungee straps. You get a couple of rod holders. You know, these aren't really anything to write home about. They stay shut for the most part, but it doesn't take much. As you can see, just, you know, a little bit with your finger and you can get them to pop up, but they work as they're supposed to. This back hatch, this is not a waterproof hatch. It is a water resistant hatch. Comes with a bag. This is not a dry bag. This is just something you drop your stuff in, and you know, waterproof containers or whatever to keep your stuff dry. Not because of the bag, but because you have them in a waterproof container. But this keeps them from sliding all over in the hull. Now there's quite a bit of storage back here, but it's not, you're not really going to be trying to slide your rod and reels in here, so it's going to be smaller stuff. You're pretty much just going to use this bag, you know, to hold your cell phone in there or whatever. And it does secure down nice. One of the things that I've heard is these screws will back out. So, you know, they're in plastic, stainless steel screws in plastic. They will back out as you open and close the hatch, so you have to check those from time to time. Now, right here next to the seat on both sides, we have these bungees, and you can put Plano boxes in here and put these bungees over them and latch them right in, and it will hold your Plano boxes in place in case your kayak tips over or whatever. You don't have to worry about losing your Plano boxes. We also have a paddle keeper right here, so you can put your paddle, there's a nice indentation on here, put your paddle in there, pull this up over and lock it in, and you're good to go. We've also got a couple of sturdy handles on the side for carrying this, and I did forget to mention on the back you also have a nice sturdy handle here on the back. So plenty of places to grab onto this kayak and carry it from. We also have some mounts here, so if you wanted to hook, like put a tether on your paddle, you can hook it to right here, have a tether on there. That way in the event that you did, you know, tip this kayak over, you don't have to worry about losing your paddle. Again, we have the rails along both sides here, and they are flush mounted. That's one of the things I like about them. You don't have to worry about snagging them on anything, you know, and getting hung up on anything, because they are just flush mounted and they work quite well. We have this center console area. Underneath the seat there's 4 more scupper plugs, so you have plenty of drainage. You don't have to worry about, you know, your boat filling up with water. 4 more scupper plugs up front, 2 on each side. And you have a mounting system here where if you want to have your fish finder mounted on either the rails or on the center console, you can secure it on either one of these mounts. Have the place for your fish finder module to drop down in. And one of the cool things about that is you can see the grating down there. Okay, on the bottom of the boat there's a plate that runs along the bottom, keeps that fish finder module from getting hung up in like weeds and stuff, or getting ripped off, you know, from underneath your boat. So it's somewhat protected. This center console, couple of quick release snaps, and you can pop this open, and as you see, you got a lot of storage in there. And again, this is a water resistant area. It's not going to be waterproof. So you know, you tip this over or you spraying it down, you can get water in there. This is my ram mount. It attaches to that ball that you see right here. This particular one is set up for a GoPro camera. That way I can mount my GoPro. And this does come off relatively quick. Just unscrew it, slide it right off. You have a mount there, but easy on, easy off, and hold secure. So, you know, anything that you're wanting to mount, extra rod holders or whatever, can be mounted right there. This does have a nice fitting rubber gasket, but again, it's water resistant. It is not waterproof, guys. And you can pretty much hook these back with one hand, which is convenient since I'm holding the camera in the other hand. But you can secure it back down. Now what I like about this center console is on the outside you got Scotty mounts. There's, you know, 3 there. You got 4 in the center section, and there's some pre-drilled holes all along the top here for mounting any other accessories that you want to mount if you're using this as a fishing kayak. I do want to use this as a fishing kayak and get some fishing in the summer. You also have your fish measuring here in centimeters and in inches, and it goes up to 20 inches. So, you know, you can take and probably highlight this with a silver marker or something to make it stand out a lot better. Your rudder controls, like I said, this comes all hooked up. All you have to do is attach it to your rudder once you're done. I suggest pulling these ahead just a little bit and then making your adjustments so your rudder stays nice and straight. But you can adjust, you know, your footrest, and it does not affect your rudder controls at all. But they're made out of a kind of a thicker plastic material, so hopefully they hold up. The ones on the Vibe Yellowfin have held up really good and have no problems with them whatsoever. What I forgot to show you is on your seat, you can adjust your seat with these straps I'll set it in and get it to any angle that you want, and even have it laying down for travel. Up front we have this bigger hatch. Again, it's a water resistant hatch, nice locking mechanism, and you have the same bag in here. Vibe sends you a piece of your kayak where they've cut a piece out of a hole. This goes to that back hole back there, but it shows you, you know, what your kayak is made out of, how thick the material is and everything. And I'm thinking if you had to make a repair on your kayak, you could probably make a repair with a piece of this. Okay, but again, nice big bag, and this again is not a dry bag. But once you pull that out, now if you want to bring extra rods and reels and tackle boxes, you know, smaller tackle boxes, have a battery box set up for your fish finder and stuff. All of that can be set up right in here. You have plenty of room to slide your rods and reels down in there. You can do that very easily. Again, you have a nice, you know, seal on this, but it's not waterproof, it is water resistant. But anyway, you have this nice paddle minder up here. You can just slide it up real quick out of the way, and it'll hold the front of it there, so it's not going to go anywhere on you. And again, we got a nice handle up front. Seems really sturdy. And the drain plug, you know, you need to drain the water out of your kayak, and it does have a minder in there, so you're not just going to lose it. This is the Vibe SeaGhost 130. Now this does have a weight capacity of 550 pounds. So if you're a bigger guy and you want some extra stability, this would definitely be the kayak for you. Now let me show you how this rudder works real quick. You can undo the minder there, and I'm going to try to do this with one hand without tipping the kayak over on the sawhorses that I have it sitting on. But you have this rope right here. It's got the ball on it. But grab the rope, make sure it's pulled out of the catch, and then pull to deploy the rudder. And like I say, I'm trying to do this without dumping the kayak. Then you set it right back in here. There has been some complaints that the grip here, the teeth wear out after a while, and it no longer holds. So that's when people do the reverse spring on the rudder system. That lets it, when you undo it, it puts it down instead of up. Okay, but it comes right back up into place, and all you do is hook your flexible bungee back on there, holds it in place. So all in all, a nice kayak. I'm going to be showing y'all some footage of getting this out on the water so you can see how stable it is. Being a 13-foot kayak, it's going to be a lot stabler than the Yellowfin, and I have no problem with the Yellowfin 100. That is a stable kayak, even though some people have said that you should save your money and your life by not buying the Yellowfin. If you want a good fishing kayak, guys, that you can rig out, the Vibe SeaGhost 130 will be the one for you. Will you survive whatever comes your way? If you got yourself a SeaGhost 130 with a 550-pound weight capacity, you just might. This is the Massachusetts Prepper saying, take care all. yellowfin is unstable. Nice day out here on the lake.